Well, hello everybody and welcome back to my channel. My name is Leah with Lady X Gaming. If you are new here, I would like to welcome you. If you're a returning viewer, I would like to welcome you back. This is episode 4 of my Minecraft Survival Let's Play series here on my YouTube channel. If you missed the last few episodes, I will link up the playlist for this series on at the end of this video so you can go back and watch that. But in the last episode, we actually stepped our feet in the Nether for the very first time. So you might want to go back and watch that to kind of get caught up with where we are at in our little adventure here. But in this episode, it looks like it started raining. Oh well, I'm very accustomed to rain, so it doesn't really bother me. In the last episode, I had mentioned that I wanted to work on building my barn for my animals, but I had not really had any ideas of where the barn was going to go. But I have since actually come up with kind of a cool idea. Let me go ahead and put up a little screenshot for you guys of the area that I am going to be working on. As you can see here, this is my starter base area. We have my little cottage here to the right. Up to the north side of the screen, we have my campsite with the sheep pen. And off here to the left is actually the section where I am going to be working on today. And my thought is I am going to be sort of clearing this section out here. I'm going to be removing most of the trees that you see here, and I'm going to be cutting into this little grassy knoll here that kind of makes this little L shape. And then I'm also going to be getting rid of all this grass here just to kind of level it out to get it ready for building a barn or some sort of animal dwelling right here. I don't want this to be 2 levels. I want it to be completely 1 level. So I'm going to spend some time terraforming, tearing down trees, and getting this all leveled out to get it ready for the animal pens. And then I'm also going to take some time to work out some pathways. I know I want a pathway to continue off from the pathway leading from the campsite, so it's probably going to come around here and head off in the direction of our nether portal and that village that's over there by the nether portal. And then I think I want something that comes, oh, that's not right. I think I also want something that comes around the front of the house, and then I want a path leading from my doorstep over this way, making way to where a bridge is eventually going to go. I'm not going to probably get into the bridge in this episode, but I did want to get that pathway started. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go ahead and cut to a time lapse of me clearing out this area, taking out the trees, taking out a lot of dirt. It's probably going to take me some time. But once we are done, I will come back and show you the end result. And then from there, we will most likely move on to building the actual animal stalls. So without any further ado, let's get to time-lapsing right now. Here is the finished result. That took me a couple of hours just to clear out this whole corner of this sort of hillside right here. And I also took the time to dig out and remove the stone and any other types of blocks that were in the ground. And I just turned it all to grass. I wasn't quite sure how big of a space that I was going to need, but I think this is actually the perfect size, and I'll be able to fit a couple of pens right here. I'm thinking I might do the sheep in this area, and then possibly the cows here, And then I might add the pig area here. And then what I was thinking is I would just have a big sort of like fenced off area where I can let them kind of roam free during the day and then just pin them up during the night so that they have a nice comfy area to sleep in. I might not even just add gates. They can just wander around as they want. I just want to keep them safe from any predators that might wander through here. I thought that would be a fun idea. And then here you can tell I added the pathways like I had mentioned when I showed the screenshot. This is the pathway I just continued along from the campsite, and I had it come around the side here. And then I continued that pathway along here, going off to the village off in that direction. I also wanted to go ahead and add a small little pathway leading from my doorway up until the lake because eventually, I think I mentioned this in an episode, that I want to have bridges going across from here to the lake itself, and I might have a few more bridges going from this village to the middle of the lake, this little island here. And then I also want to have another bridge going off in this direction from this side of the lake. But I thought it would be fun to have a nice little pathway cut out for when I am ready to build that bridge. I don't think I'm quite ready for that bridge just yet. We'll get to that in another episode. But I really think it's a good idea to get some pathways cut out because it really helps with the layout of everything and figuring out where you want buildings to go. It really helps kind of visualize where you need to put things, and also it helps with figuring out the size of your builds. I think it's just an overall good idea. So if you're ever struggling with your builds and you don't know what to build or where to build it, start adding pathways, and that will give you a good idea of where your builds need to go, and it might help you with figuring out what kind of builds you want to do and like the size of the build and everything like that. I know it's getting nighttime, but that's okay. I did end up adding this sort of little crop field here just because I had realized that I hadn't really started any sort of crops at all in this area for this series, and I was in dire need of some better food sources. My main source of food right now is potatoes. So I went ahead. I know that we grabbed a bunch of potatoes, I think from the villagers or maybe from our little adventure a couple episodes ago. I went ahead and planted those. I also grabbed some pumpkins from the fields off in that direction and just planted the seeds here. I had some melon seeds from that jungle that we visited, so I just planted those as well. And I also started some wheat and sugar cane because I know that eventually I'm going to need to get some sugar cane for paper and books and whatnot. So I decided to go ahead and start that farm right here. Now this is a temporary spot just to kind of get the crops going. And then eventually what I want to do, I have a plan to build a bigger crop field kind of going off in this direction in between my little starter base here and the village off in that direction. We'll get to that probably in another episode as well because that's going to be a project in itself because I need to go over there and kind of terraform and flatten out everything to make room for a crop field of that size. But I want to make sure that I have enough crops and enough resources to be able to trade with villagers and stuff like that and not run out of any sort of food sources or anything like that. So like I said, that will probably come in another episode. But now what I need to do, I need to go ahead and work on gathering some resources. I really don't think I'm going to need too much because I've already got so much wood from clearing out all the trees in this area here and this area. I do think I'm going to need a little bit more cobblestone. I really want the barns to kind of look similar to the house that's sitting here just to kind of connect the two. I'm not going to need too much, so it's not going to take me long. So I think I'm just going to go ahead and do that off camera. And then once I have all of the materials that I'm going to need to build the stable, to build the little lean-to buildings for my animals, then we will come back and I will go ahead and get to building that. Probably on camera with you guys because I don't think it's going to take much to build a little lean-to building, a couple of lean-to buildings for my animals. And then we will probably round up my sheep, bring them over here, and we'll also go and find some cows. I think there's been a couple of cows over on this island here, and there's also been some off in this field, so I don't think it's going to take much to round up some animals to put in the pen. So anyways, I'm going to go ahead and sleep, and then I am going to go ahead and get to doing a little bit of resource gathering. See you in just a few minutes. I am back from resource gathering. I got quite a bit of cobblestone and andesite and diorite. This should be enough. I may have to go back down there and get more depending on how this build goes. I shouldn't need too much. I don't want this build to be big like I mentioned before. I want to keep everything in this area kind of on the small side. I might even just try to match my house in a sense and then just make it look more like a barn shape, I guess. I mean, that might not be such a bad idea. But I do need to grab some more oak wood because I didn't have enough in those double chests there. And I'm also going to need to possibly go to that dark oak forest to grab some more of the dark oak wood and logs. I know I have the 3 saplings, but that I don't think is going to be enough. But I'll probably just do that while I'm building. Because I don't want to waste your time going back and forth to the dark oak forest. But I am going to go ahead now. And we are going to switch into a time lapse. And I am going to go ahead and just get this barn built with the stall on the side. I might even do 2 stalls, one side for the sheep and one side for the cows. And then maybe the middle section will be like where I store the hay and any other crops I might have for them. And then I'll do like a pen outside that they can roam free in every once in a while. And then I might, like I said, have a little lean-to pigsty area for pigs. I think that would be super cute. And a stable for my horse. I'm really not exactly sure. I guess we'll find out how it turns out when it's all done, right? Without any further ado, let's get to building this barn. And the barn is done. I'm going to take you outside now and give you the grand reveal. So let's go ahead and head out there and I will show you the end result of the brand new barn that we just built. And here it is. I am actually in love with how this barn turned out. Oh, we have a visitor. I guess I'll take care of him in just a minute. I was not trusting the process very well during this whole build. I was not really sure about the style that I was going for, but I just went with it. I kept going and the end result I think is fabulous. I think it ties in really well with the main starter house over here. Let's take a look from back here. Yeah, I think it does. Now I do realize that I did not add any diorite to this build. I think that's okay. And I actually was envisioning a silo going next to the barn, like a grain silo with a tower and maybe a windmill on it, going like kind of behind and next to the barn. So maybe we can put some diorite in that build so that everything just ties in together. Overall, I really do love this. I added this stable here for my horse and possibly another animal, either a donkey or a zombie horse. I really do want to go get one of those eventually. I thought I'd add some extra room for that. And then, okay, we have to take care of this skelly because I gotta take you inside. Excuse me, sir. Thank you. Actually, that wasn't so bad. I wasn't originally going to do this. I was going to try and add barn doors instead, but I don't think they would fit very well. I decided to kind of, once again, tie in the builds together, and I took this idea and put it on my barn. So I think that works out really well. And then out here you can see I have another little pen area. This is going to be for pigs. And I want to come in here and do some like mud and maybe like coarse dirt and stuff just to make it look more like a pigsty, if you will. And maybe add like a trough of water and then actually get the pigs in there. I think that would be so cute. I might even add a little building for them. I'm not really sure. I know I did talk about that, but I'm kind of like the space. I don't know if it's actually going to accommodate it very well, so we'll see. I didn't want to forget about the pigs. We don't have any pigs. We're going to have to go get some, but when we get some, I'm glad that we finally got that. We got to have that for them. I wanted to have that ready for them. And then if we come inside, you can see that we have 2 stalls. One is going to be for cows and the other one's going to be for sheep. I know they're not very big, but I'm actually not going to have very many sheep and cows in here. I'm probably going to end up culling the herd of sheep that's over there eventually. And I only want to have maybe two of each animal in here. And then I can breed them as I need to build, you know, like maybe leather farms and beef farms and stuff like that. Maybe a wool farm eventually down the road. But I don't want them to be like completely stuffed in here. So I made this small little quaint space for, you know, just a couple of animals. And then I did do a loft because I want to make sure to have storage. And I think what I'm going to do is make this my main sort of like crop storage and, you know, food for the animals. So there's going to be like wheat and carrots and all kinds of stuff up here. Maybe the leather and the wool once I start getting to that point. I just thought that would be a good extra storage area. And then I did start placing some hay bales around. I don't have a lot, but I was able to make some up with some of the wheat that I had on hand. I do want to come in and replace the torches with lanterns eventually, but I do have some iron, but I don't have a lot. I was thinking eventually we can do like a little mining expedition, maybe to that mine over there, that cave that's way over there, and get some materials for lanterns and stuff like that. Plus, I really would like to get leveled up to diamond because I don't know if you saw in the time lapse, I had at least 2 pillager patrols come through here while I was building this thing. And, you know, it didn't start out too well, but it ended all right. But now I got 2 ominous banners and I've got a couple of ominous bottles, which we can definitely go raid a trial chamber with those if we wanted. But I'm gonna need some better gear if I'm gonna have those guys coming through here. And I would really like to get maybe some better weapons, a bow with infinity on it, and maybe some other stuff. I think that's gonna be important if I'm gonna be living in this area. I also need to go check on my villagers because there were zombies going through there and stuff like that. I know I have that other zombie village or the other village over there, but I kind of want to try and preserve both and use them for different purposes. So hopefully my villagers are okay. If not, I'll have to figure out what to do. But overall, we got a fun little bunny trail down. Overall, I really do love how this barn turned out. It's not overly done. It's not too huge. I think it fits this spot perfectly. And like I said, I just love that it fits so well with the starter base. Now what I want to do is I want to try and get get my horse over here, and I want to get the cows, or I want to get the sheep in their side of the pen, and then we're going to go get a couple of cows. So now I'm hoping, I haven't seen any dogs around since the last time they were here, but since I put these sheep in here, but that doesn't mean they're not around. Now, I'm going to let these guys loose. That means they're probably going to go nuts. But like I said, I only want like 2 or 3 of them to come with me. So if I only get like 2 or 3, that's fine. And this is such perfect timing for this build because we are now on the 26.1.2 update actually. And this is the update where we get the brand new baby mobs in the game. So I'm going to bring these guys over here and we're going to breed them and see what the baby sheep look like. So come on, guys. Come on to your new home. I hope you're as excited as I am. And I'm going to bring you some friends. Thank you. Nicely done. Nicely done. You can make it. I know all of you can make it. And we're going to shut this. Oh, did you just... you went through the gate. Okay, well... I only needed 2 of you in there anyway. Okay, so 1, 2. Baby sheep. Baby sheep. Oh, you're... Oh, I can't see him. He's so tiny. Oh my goodness, he's so cute. I'm not gonna lie. I think I like the previous look of the of the sheep before, the baby sheep before, but you're pretty cute. I'm not gonna lie. All right, and I know there's a way that you can keep these guys babies forever. I can't remember what the recipe is. I mean, this update literally just came out, so I'm sorry, dude, but you're gonna have to go. I don't need you in here. I'm gonna have to figure out what that recipe is, and then maybe keep this guy young forever. If not, of course, we can make more and keep those guys young. I think I do want to try and collect maybe all of the baby mobs in this game, at least the animals, maybe not the hostile ones, but maybe later on we might try that. But for now, we're gonna keep it to the nicer mobs and not the hostile ones. But yeah, that's so cute, and we finally get to use the barn, and my sheep finally get a nice place to stay. All right, we're gonna go get the horse, and I'm gonna take care of these sheep real fast, because that's a lot of wool and mutton that I could use. I know you guys are probably thinking, oh, what a waste. You could make a farm out of these, but I don't have the means to make a farm just yet. So I'm just going to, take them for their wool, and then I will build, wool farms later. And I also want to clear this out and maybe put another tent here eventually. So better if I just get rid of the lingering sheep, the sheep that are still lingering here. I think that's all of them. So we're gonna take this down. Hi, horsey, you're gonna get a new home too. I can't wait to show you. It's so nice to finally get rid of this. This was such an eyesore to this area. We have these really nice tents here, and then this just bland oak pen. Yeah, I was not loving it. So I'm glad that it's finally time to knock it down. All right. Where did my horse just go? Oh, but there's a zombie. There he is. He must have just blended in because it was dark. Okay. Come on, horsey. You know what? I don't have a name for this horse yet either. So if you guys want to put a name down in the comments, and I will pick the best one, and then we will name him. Oh. This is probably not the best time to be putting a horse away, but we'll go ahead and sleep, and then we'll put the horse away. I think I can just jump this guy over the fence. Hopefully it's not too tall. Oh, yep. Oh, but it hurt me. All right. And I didn't put a middle part here just yet. Maybe once I get another animal in here, like the zombie horse or something, we will separate these two. But, this horsey has plenty of room to roam right now. So that's great. And now we are going to go find ourselves a couple of cows and bring them to their brand new home. And maybe I'll get some pigs along the way. Add you to my collection, and we get to see what baby pigs look like. I haven't seen the baby pigs yet. Come on, guys. Come on, I know you got little legs. I'll try to keep it slow. Almost there, almost there. Come on, you little cutesy things. And I will dress up your pen as soon as I can. I promise. It's not going to be boring forever. I will definitely make sure of that. You guys need a nice pig pen to roll around in. And of course I didn't make myself... Oh, I didn't make myself an easy way to get in here. So now I got to close that back off. All right, let's see what these baby pigs look like. 1, 2. Oh my word. I'm sorry, but that's a little cursed in my opinion. I don't know. It's so ugly. It's cute. I don't know, guys. You let me know what you think of the new pig, the new baby pig. I don't know if I'm sold on the baby pig. I mean, from this angle, he's kind of cute, but if you're looking like directly at him, oh, that's a bit cursed. I'm not gonna lie. I'm sorry. It's kind of like an ugly duckling situation. Can he get through there? He's small enough. I don't think he's small enough to fit through that, but I guess we'll find out, won't we? All right, so we got pigs, and now we need our cows. So I'm thinking probably the best thing that I can do is I am going to need to build a bridge here anyway. That was part of my plan. So I think I'm just going to go ahead and put a bridge in right now. Since I have the materials, I think I'm going to keep the block palette similar. I might just do like something simple right now, and then I'll add the details later. But right now, I just need something to get those cows over here. So we're gonna put all this stuff away. Okay, so we're gonna do this. I think I'm gonna do something like this. I think that was as tall as that side, but I guess it is. Cool. All right, let's go get those cows. I think we can make it. I'm not too scared of the dark anymore. I mean, maybe. You guys are going to have a new home and some new friends. I totally forgot about chickens. I know I mentioned possibly words are hard. I didn't even think about chickens. I think I mentioned possibly building a chicken coop. I just hadn't designed that yet. So we might have to do that in another episode. Come on, guys. Oh, I'm lagging. Why am I lagging so bad? Don't fall off. The whole reason for this bridge is to make it across quickly and safely. And I have not seen the baby cows yet. So this is going to be so awesome. We're going to get to see quite a few of the baby farm animals. I think that's great. Did this sheep grow up already? He sure did. They grow up kind of fast, don't they? Okay, come on. Come. All right, we're going to close that. 1 and 1. Do they not get the little hearts over their heads anymore? Oh, you are just so darling. Hi. Aren't you just so cute? He jumped pretty high. I don't know if he can make it over the fence, but he might grow up before he can even try. But oh, you are just so adorable. I love your little sweet face. This is pretty much getting close to the end of this episode, but there is something that happened during the course of me recording this episode that I would love to celebrate. And that is, as of yesterday, April 16th of 2026, my channel has hit 200 subscribers. And I could not be more excited and happy for that. And I want to celebrate that, and I think I've come up with the perfect way to celebrate the milestones, like the subscriber milestones in this series with you guys. Something that I really love to do in Minecraft is I love building custom trees, and this spot is definitely missing the whimsical atmosphere it could have because there are not very many trees here because, well, I sort of knocked them all down. So I thought it would be awesome to put in a custom tree here to celebrate that this is the spot that I was in when I hit my 200 subscribers on this channel. And since the barn was the build that was going up during the time I hit my 200 subscriber milestone, I am going to build the tree right here near the barn. And I'm thinking maybe kind of off to the side here would be a good spot. Now, it's probably not going to be a very big tree. It'd probably just be like a medium to small size, but I just think this is a perfect way to commemorate. And anytime I am somewhere, well, I mean, I guess depending on, where it's at, if it's in the overworld or the nether, I mean, we could build another tree if we're in the nether and I hit another milestone of some sort. But as far as the overworld is concerned and hitting subscriber milestones and stuff like that, I think trees are the best way, or the perfect way to commemorate those milestones. So I want to build a tree with you guys. I don't have any leaves, so we are going to... I don't want to take out the leaves of trees that are right here because that's just going to look horrible. We're just going to go until the shears break, I think. And then we can chop down the tree also for its wood. Got about 4 or 5 stacks of the leaves now, the oak leaves. That should be enough. I will definitely have to be mindful of keeping this tree quite small, which is fine. It doesn't need to be a very big tree, but I just wanted something to commemorate where I was and what I was doing when we hit 200 subscribers. Now, I don't want it to block the barn, so I'm actually going to bring it kind of over here a little bit, I think. Kind of off, maybe covering the pathway even. That would be pretty. 2, 3, 4, 5. All right, so we've got the base with the roots. Actually, I really like how that turned out. And then we are going to go upward. I feel like with trees, I have found like the best way to get my trees to look right is to start with the base, because that kind of shows you, it just gives me a good direction of where to take the top of the tree after I've done the bottom. It gives me good proportions for like the branches and stuff. We're going to go up this way. I think I want to have a total of 3 branches. So one going off this way, one going that way, and then one going toward the barn. I don't want it to hit the barn though. I want it to actually be like away from the barn. I'm going to go that way with it. And we will take this dirt away. We're not going to have dirt in our tree. It's just a kind of a placeholder for where I want the branches to go and to make sure I get them positioned correctly. And then we're going to come out here. I also feel like using corners for branches kind of gives a more realistic feel rather than going straight out or straight up from the tree. I think it just kind of gives it that non-symmetrical type look, which with most trees, they do not have a symmetrical, they don't look symmetrical in real life. So the branches very much go kind of all over the place. And sometimes what I'll do is I will take a branch and I will have it kind of go off diagonal, and then I'll have it come back going like straight out. Trying to go for that realism almost, if you will. Can we sleep in this tree? Why not? Let's sleep in a tree. This is technically a tree house. And then another thing that I like to come in and do is I like to put slabs at the bottom of the branches because I don't like them looking like they're just kind of hanging out by themselves, like they could easily fall down. I don't know, that just kind of looks odd to me. I mean, if that's how you build yours, then you do you, it's fine. But for me, I really like having that attachment to the other branches or the trunk itself. I think it just, you know, it makes it look a little bit more realistic. Now, I was going to strip the oak, but actually I am really liking it with its normal bark texture. This is actually looking pretty cool. So we need to get up there now and we need to start placing the leaves. I was on a hyperfixation there for a while, learning how to build trees. And I found this one person, I can have to find the video if you guys want to see it, but they talked about trees and how to get them in Minecraft anyway, trees in Minecraft, how to get them to look and feel more realistic. And the one thing that they talked about, and this person isn't the only one that talked about it, there's actually another person that I have watched too that builds trees that talks about this. Trees in real life, they have, you know, air. They're very airy. Like they have openings and stuff where birds can fly through. They're not like bunched together. Like, so in Minecraft, you want to try and capture that by building your trees in such a way that like a bird could fly through it. It looks like a bird could fly through it. I don't know if that makes sense, but it made sense to me, and it has really helped with the overall process of building my trees. Because before, mine would just kind of look kind of like that. It looked like no light getting through, nothing. And it felt very unnatural. But over time, I have learned how to fix that. And I think it has improved my tree building a lot, especially since hearing that little tip from those people, from those pro Minecraft tree builders. There is another pillager patrol. I am not joking. I don't know if they've upped the amount of pillager patrols that come through a Minecraft world, but this is the third one since recording this last part of this episode. I don't know if that's normal, guys. Can you tell me if that's normal? Is it because I've been in the world longer that they're starting to come out more? I really don't know. You guys are going to have to help me out, because that's a lot of pillager patrols. What I don't want is for me to be putting leaves on this tree and have a pillager shoot me. Not that I couldn't take care of them, but it's just being taken by surprise can really throw you off sometimes. Okay. I'm gonna bring these down. And I don't really have a special, like, placement process for leaves. I'm kind of going off of that same principle of leaving air block. It's alright. I can't say this is a little weird. Maybe once I get the rest of the leaves in, it'll be okay. I just kind of eyeball it, if you will, and I just want the tree to have some life to it. The leaves can really make or break a Minecraft tree. And if you've built trees in Minecraft, you probably know what I mean by that. Sometimes I overthink it, and when I overthink it, that's when my trees start looking funky. And if I just go with the flow and kind of place them around kind of sparsely, that's when the tree actually starts coming to life and actually looking like a tree. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a sign on here that says the date and the subscriber count. That's not bad. I don't like this. This is kind of odd. Oh, can I do it? There we go. It kind of almost has that weeping willow feel, which is kind of weird for an oak tree, but I don't know. I love that look for trees. I think it just is so like chef's kiss. One of my favorite ways to build trees. I also like to try and leave the branches showing, because, in regular trees, you can actually see the branches through the leaves. So I try my best not to cover them up as much as possible. Sometimes I have a hard time not doing that, though. All right. Actually, I absolutely love that. Now I need to make a sign. And then the sign, I think, is going to go... Should it go on the tree? Or should it go, like, near the tree? I'm thinking on the tree. Okay. Four, 16, 20, 26. Okay, I think that looks a little better. It's a lot of wordage, but I just want to remember that it's my YouTube channel. In case I decide to branch out, no pun intended, to other streaming services later on down the road. So that way I don't get confused. I'm definitely going to have to get some ink, maybe some glow ink, and maybe make it a different color so that's actually a little bit more legible. Because you can't really read it from here as of right now, because it just kind of blends into the bark. I absolutely love how this tree turned out, and I think it looks fabulous next to the barn. I think that just brought it so much more life, and I actually kind of want to see it with my shaders on. Let's go ahead and turn those shaders on just to see, and we can see the whole area and what it looks like with shaders. I used to love playing with shaders all the time. I don't do it anymore because it lags my computer out so bad. Oh my word, that is so pretty. So I don't play with them on all the time, but it's nice every once in a while to turn them on just to see what my builds look like. And this is just so lovely. It makes me just feels so cozy and I just want to live here for real. But that is pretty much the end of this episode. I am so excited to finally get this episode out to you guys. I think the next episode we are probably going to work on getting leveled up to diamond gear, because like I said, I have so many pillager patrols coming through this area that I think I just need to be a little bit more prepared. Plus, I want to start working on getting my crop field filled out a little bit more and actually kind of move it to where I want it to go. I also want to start working with my villagers to get some better some trading started. I would like to get mending on some of my tools here because my axe is definitely on its last leg, so it'd be nice to start getting some of those things going in this series. I think I also might want to start working on some farms. I do want to go through and maybe landscape and add more trees to this area and add some foliage and stuff just to kind of bring this place to life even more. I think I want to add an apiary up here for bees. I'd like to start getting some bees and honey going. I think this spot would be perfect for that. And I have so many ideas for what to do with this spot. So there's a lot going on and a lot to look forward to in this series. So you're not going to want to miss that because it's going to be a lot of fun. And before I log off, I just want to say a huge thank you to all of you who have been following me since the very beginning, and to any of my new subscribers and those of you who have continued to support me and this channel since its start. This has been a long time dream of mine, and I'm so glad I finally took that leap and started this channel. It has been so much fun. Even though it's kind of more of just a hobby, I actually really like it and I want to do more with this channel. And I actually would love to get back to doing live streams with you guys. So put down in the comments if you'd like to see some live streams from me as well, because I definitely want to get back into that. That was so much fun. With all that said, I'm going to go ahead and hop off here. I hope you all have a wonderful, blessed day, week, month, year, whenever and wherever you're watching from. And until the next episode, I will catch you all later. God bless, and I will see you then. Bye.